Happy Friday, Muskies! Only 3 weeks until the end of the semester. I'm Sarah Nimmo.
And I'm Connor Muldoon, and this is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News.
The next round of nuclear talks between world powers and Iran is scheduled for next week in Vienna. The European Union will be hosting the talks. In a statement released on Thursday, the EU said that its senior negotiator, Helga Schmid, will meet with Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, on Wednesday to pursue an agreement that would restrict Iran to peaceful research in the nuclear area in exchange for lifting economic sanctions. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said Iran wants to end its isolation by fostering, quote, constructive interaction with the world and not confrontation, end quote.
On Wednesday, former New England Patriot Aaron Hernandez was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. He was convicted of killing a semi-pro football player, Odin Lloyd, back in 2013. Lloyd's body was found just 1 mile from Hernandez's home. The defense described Lloyd as Hernandez's blunt master, or his supplier of marijuana. His family, however, described Lloyd as very loyal and, quote, the man of the house, end quote. After the trial outside the courthouse, Lloyd's mother found the ability to forgive, saying, quote, I forgive the hands of the people that had a hand in my son's murder, either before or after, and I pray and hope that someday everyone up there will forgive them also, end quote. Last Friday, Xavier held its annual Relay for Life, an event that gives the Xavier community a chance to fight back against cancer. I went out to the Xavier Yard to get the scoop on this year's relay. Xavier University's chapter of Relay for Life is an event where student teams register to raise money as well as sell objects to benefit cancer research.
Basically, it's an 18-hour event. The idea is you come out, you walk for the full 18 hours. Obviously, that gets really hard, so we have things set up everywhere around the track. You know, you can go and there's all different things. There's dance teams that come and perform, there's acapella groups that come and perform, there's tons of food, there's all these different games.
The event included a survivor lap, as well as a very special thank you to the participants.
This is a great effort. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say. I'm lucky to be here.
All the different activities, including pieing UC students, helped this event raise almost $15,000 for cancer awareness.
You're supposed to kind of walk around for, in honor of those who maybe have passed away from cancer or just people who have cancer. The idea is we walk around this track for 18 hours and that's tough, but if you think about it, that's nothing compared to people who have cancer and what they have to go through.
Relay for Life is a way to honor those who have or had a terrible disease. Reporting for Xavier News, I'm Connor Muldoon.
Thanks, Connor. That was some great field reporting. New research shows that the creation of e-cigarettes has spiked tobacco use in teens and young adults. According to federal data released on Thursday, use of the devices among middle and high school students tripled between 2013 and 2014. This increase led to an additional 400,000 young people using a tobacco product in 2014, the first increase in years. However, studies also show that the number of high school students who smoke traditional cigarettes has declined substantially, from 16% to only 9%. This shift suggests that some teenage smokers may be using e-cigarettes to quit smoking. Smoking is still the single biggest cause of preventable death in the United States, but because e-cigarettes are so new, little is known about their long-term health effects.
TriHealth President John Prout, who is considered the longest-serving leader of a healthcare organization in the region, is stepping down from his position. The job is being handed to Mark Clement, a Xavier alum who has been running a major health system in Rochester, New York. Prout will still be the CEO, so Clement will be reporting to him. Clement was described as being the best candidate for the job. Prout said of the former Musketeer, quote, with all that's going on in the transformation of healthcare, we think with Mark's talents joining our current team, we will really be able to continue to build a healthier community and innovate in ways that will be healthier for patients and families, end quote. Clement has been a president or CEO of other healthcare systems like St. Elizabeth's Medical Center in Boston, Holy Cross Hospital in Chicago, and Metro West Medical Center in Framingham, Massachusetts. The Cincinnati native is returning home, and the job change will be effective on May 26th.
On Monday, a memorial service was held in Cintas Center in honor of Lauren Hill, a 19-year-old basketball player from Mount St. Joseph University who inspired millions as she battled terminal brain cancer. Hill passed away on Friday from a brain tumor that had been growing inside her for more than a year. Diagnosed when she was a senior in high school, Hill decided to attend Mount St. Joseph to pursue her dream of playing college basketball. At the memorial service, Hill's casket was placed on the court where she made her first layup over a year ago. Before she died, Hill helped to raise over $1.5 million for pediatric cancer research. Cincinnati Children's Hospital has opened a unique space in the hopes that it will make the patient's time there a bit more enjoyable. Reporter Alyssa Metz has the story.
Studios is located at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center and is a multimedia studio that provides entertainment for the hospital's in and out patients. Former WKRC sports reporter Zach Wells serves as the studio manager.
What I wanted to do is I was kind of at a point in my career in my life where I kind of wanted to channel my passion for it. I still have a great passion for it into something different. And I heard about this, one of my friends brought it up, like the chance to go to a studio in a hospital and work with hospitalized kids doing broadcasting and TV and radio. I looked more into it. I fell in love with it, and then I applied for it, and I was so lucky to get it. And then I've been here almost 2 years now. What we want to do is make sure that you have a place to just kind of relax, listen to some music as you do your treatment, or as you relax, or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, what better way to relax than with the Beeb himself, Swag, Justin Bieber. This is Boyfriend on WKID. We provide programming that airs on Channel 33 in the hospital that kind of takes their mind off of all that stuff. So we might air bingo on Channel 33, or we might go to a field trip to the zoo, or we might do some trivia, or we might finish the Disney lyrics.
Jenna Zayats has witnessed firsthand Zach's positive influence on patients.
Zach is a ball of energy. We liken him to Woody from Toy Story. He has like that really outgoing personality.
Second baseman, number 4, Brandon Phillips.
Kids love him. They love the really, really cheesy jokes that he tells. The kids love it. They think it's hilarious, and he connects really well with the kids, which is important.
Zach's presence in the studio creates a fun atmosphere to help patients forget about their problems and enjoy being kids. This is Alyssa Metz reporting for Xavier News.
Thanks very much, Alyssa. Denver International Airport was recently the scene of a plot to grope attractive males going through airport security. A man and woman who were employed by the Transportation Security Administration were fired after another TSA employee tipped off the organization, who then had a private investigator, Chris Higgins, monitor the two. The strategy was for the male TSA agent to alert the female agent when he saw an attractive man. The female TSA agent would then manipulate the screening machine in order to allow the male agent to pat down the customer. The pat down was very inappropriate, however, and did not abide by TSA guidelines. This took place over 10 times, according to the female accomplice. The TSA called these actions deplorable, saying, quote, "These alleged acts are egregious and intolerable," end quote. They went on to say, quote, "All allegations of misconduct are thoroughly investigated by the agency, and when substantiated, employees are held accountable," end quote. No victims have come forward at this time, making it unlikely that criminal charges will be filed. Well, that's all from this desk. Have a great weekend, everyone. Up next is Drew Tanner with the Xavier Sports Report.
Happy Friday, Xavier fans. Welcome to another edition of the Xavier Sports Report. I'm Andrew Tanner. Let's jump right into the action. A vital member of the Muskie Hoops program is sticking around for a while. Assistant Travis Steele was promoted to associate head coach Wednesday, after 7 seasons at XU. He'll be involved in all phases of the Hoops program, including skill development, scouting, and, like usual, recruiting. The Indiana native was crucial in luring some of the Muskies' best players like D. Davis from Bloomington, Trayvon Blewett from Indianapolis, and former IU Hoosier Remy Abel to Cincinnati. Of the promotion, Chris Mack said, quote, "Travis brings a nonstop energy around the office, on the court, and in recruiting," end quote. Steele came to Xavier prior to the 2008-09 season as the team's director of basketball operations under Sean Miller, and then Mack promoted Steele to an assistant coach after he took over the program when Sean Miller left for Arizona in 2009. And now earlier in the offseason, Steele was a hot name as a candidate for some smaller programs' head coaching vacancies for both NKU and Wisconsin Green Bay's vacancies. He's a Big East guy, Butler grad. He's now a proud Cincy resident here with Xavier, and we're glad to have him staying here at X. He could be a potential successor for Coach Mack, who was offered the Texas job, who was a candidate for the Texas job earlier in the season, but they got their first choice in VCU's Shaka Smarts. So Mack is staying right here in Xavier. So let's keep the spotlight on the Hoops team. We got some draft talk to get to, one of my favorite sports topics. Xavier senior Matt Stainbrook rolled through the Portsmouth Invitational last week, averaging 15 points per game and about 7 rebounds per game in the showcase for NBA draft hopefuls. And the season's over, but it's been a pretty busy offseason for Stain. He preceded Portsmouth, his first formal audition for NBA scouts, with an appearance in the 2015 Division I College All-Star Game. Not to mention he'll graduate with an MBA next month. And he's still probably a long shot to get drafted. There's just so much depth in the draft. But if he follows up his Portsmouth performance with a solid draft combine, I could see him maybe sneak into the second round. He'd be the second Muskie to be drafted in as many years after Samaje Kristen went 55th overall last year. Now let's head to the links where XU Women's Golf tees off at the top of the leaderboard in the Big East Championship Tournament. They hold a 22 over par lead over the Georgetown Hoyas in the tourney down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Shane Crutchfield, the second-ranked player in the conference, led the team with a 3 over par round of 75 to earn her placement, and Hannah Lee sits just behind her at third after carding a 76 plus 4 in the tournament. Other Muskies in the tournament include Rachel Johnson in 11th place, Gracie Howie in 12th, and Abigail Smith, currently ranked 22nd. Play resumed this morning at 8 a.m. It's day 2 of the 3-day events, and the Muskies know what's on the line. It's a trip to the NCAA tournaments. Smith teed off first at 8:50. Good luck, girls. Hope you're playing awesome down there and bring home the championship for Xavier. Now let's bat up with the In the Hole story and head to the baseball diamond. Fresh off a season-high offensive performance on Wednesday night against the Miami Redhawks, Xavier baseball returns to action this weekend at Villanova, continuing a Big East play with a 3-game series in Philly against the Wildcats. Xavier's not doing so well this year on the diamond. They entered the 3-game set looking to get back on track after going 0-6, winless in the Big East so far, while Villanova begins just its second conference series. They're 13-18, 1-2 in the conference. And the Wildcats dropped 2 of 3 at home to Georgetown last weekend to start their Big East play, coming off a 6-2 loss to Rider in the annual Liberty Bell Classic. And while one team looks to turn around its season, another one is winding down. Muskie women's tennis wraps up its season this weekend in Indianapolis against Butler and Creighton at the Bulldogs campus. The weekend started this morning at 10 a.m. when the Blue Jays took the court against the Muskies. They're winless in the Big East play so far. They stand at about 500 right now at 10-9. And Xavier will square off against the 7-15 Bulldogs tomorrow at 10 a.m. as well. Butler's 1-2 in conference play, so a win against our Muskies would also be big for them as well. And Xavier is really the team to beat in the Big East right now in baseball. They're 15-4 overall, 4-1 in the Big East after an undefeated weekend. They beat St. John's 6-1 and Fordham 6-1 this week. And after this weekend, the women will travel to the Big East Championship in Indianapolis next weekend. That'll be from April 23rd to the 26th. And that's all for this edition of the Xavier Sports Report. Good luck to all our athletes this weekend, and students, hang in there during these final weeks of classes. I'm Andrew Tanner, and for everyone here at the studio, enjoy the games and have a great weekend.